up, YouTube? So I got a different video for y'all today. I'm going to be reacting to horror stories. Alright, let's get into it.
There was a small wig factory in my neighborhood, and lots of hair was always rolling around in front of the factory. I could see lots of men and women busily carrying boxes into the car. In addition, mannequin heads were scattered around the factory, so I sometimes played with them, kicking like a soccer ball. However,
see that's some white folk shit.
People who were busy working at the wig factory were not seen, and there were many days when the shutters were always closed. One day when I was walking by the factory with my mom, she looked
at the
so you could step on it and come back out.
Would y'all go in there?
Closed factory and said, "They said wigs don't sell very well these days.
Hell no.
I guess they're going to close the factory."
It's already a
few days
abandoned building, and these little kids want to play in them.
Later, I was playing hide and seek with my friends in the neighborhood until dinner time. It was a long winter day, so it was already dark, and I, who was a tagger, couldn't find one of my friends. When I finally gave up, he showed up and said he was hiding in the wig factory. "How did you get in when the shutters were closed?" "When you go to the back of the door, there's a pile of boxes on the wall, and you could step on them and go in through the window. There was a shelf under the window, so you could
see."
I became a tagger again this time.
This is white folk shit.
After
step on it and come back out. I thought it was a good idea. And as soon as the next tagger was decided, I ran to the factory with one friend. It was very easy to step on the box and go inside, as he said. The moonlight came through the window so we could see inside the factory.
See, he shouldn't have been playing
Mannequin
in there.
heads with wigs on them were lined on the shelves. Since they were all looking at the wall, we could only see the back of the mannequin's head.
No, I would have ran.
Now that I think about it, I would have been chilled to see all the black hairs. But it would have been no big deal for a 7-year-old who was just distracted by
craziness.
So me and my friend waited for the tagger, giggling with each other. But there was no sign of him when he came around. We eventually came out of the window again and decided to play one last game before going to dinner.
See, but that's what he gets for playing in an abandoned building.
Spinning in place.
It's already boarded up.
When I came to my senses,
that's
I took the courage to come closer to it.
I became a tagger again this time. After counting 10, I went around looking for my friends, and finally, the last 2 were left. I grinned and headed straight to the wig factory and shouted as I pushed my face through the window.
See, that's what he get, bro.
Twice.
See, he shouldn't have been in there in the first place.
Surprised, I immediately left the window.
I went to the window to find friends who didn't answer.
And then go
and
back
then
to
I
the
felt
clip.
something different than before.
Why is this 10-year-old playing in an abandoned building in the first place? Where's his parents
looking at me?
Where are his parents?
The moment I made eye contact with it, I felt like my whole body was electrocuted,
would you let your
and my
kids play
heart
in an
dropped
abandoned
because
building?
the
It's already
mannequin had
boarded
a
up.
torso, unlike other mannequins.
Ran home crying.
I was so surprised that I started screaming and crying, but no one came to see me, as if they didn't hear me.
He's sitting there crying.
The
No, you shouldn't be
mannequin
playing
was
in it.
constantly shaking from side to side, and moving little by little, spinning in place.
I ended up suffering from
When I came to my senses,
Now this
I took
dude
the
done
courage
got
to come closer
PTSD
to it,
for being in the
and I
wrong
could see
place
its
at the
face was
wrong
very
time.
pale,
Had no
and the eyes
business
were
being in there.
unfocused. It was an old
Heck no,
man.
Later,
He was hanging from the ceiling on the pillar next to the shelf, and his face and his body were facing me as the rope turned. Being surprised, I immediately left the window and ran home crying. I told my parents all the truth as soon as I arrived, and they also reported to the police immediately, feeling serious. My dad, who went to the factory, kept comforting me in case I was terrified
Now he
of the
done got
shock.
nightmares. Look at
However,
this.
I ended
For
up
being somewhere
suffering
you
from
ain't got
what
no
happened that
business
day
in.
as a nightmare for a fairly long time. Later, according to the conversation of the elders in the neighborhood, the wig factory was suffering from financial difficulties. And the owner of the factory, who was in
Keep
debt
an eye on
because
your
of it,
kids. That's
eventually
all I can
closed
say
the
about
factory
that.
that day and hung himself.
it's about when I was 21.
And a suicide note was also found nearby. The corpse I saw for the first time in my immature days gave me a mental trauma. And after that, I could no longer watch the scene that people hang themselves in movies or dramas, even now.
I was in high school when this all happened. This was back in 2016, and I had recently started walking home from school. I didn't live too far. It was only around a 20 to 30 minute walk, depending on how much I wanted to go home that day.
I didn't live too far.
The school day had
It was
just
only
ended,
around a
and
20
this
to
was my
30
fifth
minute
or
walk,
sixth time
depending on how
walking
much I
home.
wanted to go home that day.
I decided that I would go the
school
long
day had
route
just
instead of
ended,
the
and
shorter
this was
one
my
that I
fifth or
normally take.
sixth time walking
Little
home.
did I know what I was
I
walking
decided
into.
that I would go the long route
After getting out of
instead
the parking
shorter
lot,
one that
there was a
I
long
that's
road
what-
that led
that's
to
so
a
Little
main
did I
just
know what I
behind the
was
school.
walking into.
On one side of the
After
road,
getting out of
there
the
was the
parking
baseball
lot,
field,
there was a long
and on
road
the other
that led
was
to
a
a
small
neighborhood just
factory.
behind
Don't
the
make no
school.
sense, y'all.
On one
Usually
side
I
of the
would
road,
follow this
there was
road
the
down
baseball
into the
field,
neighborhood
and on
and
the
cut
other was
through
a
there
small
until I reached the
factory-looking
main road,
place.
where I'd be roughly
Usually I would
15 minutes
follow
away
this
from
road down
home.
into the neighborhood.
So I climbed up the side of the
There
hill
until I
between the
reached
back
the
road
main
and the
road,
factory
where I'd
place
be roughly
and began
15
my walk
minutes away
through.
from home.
There were
So
multiple
I climbed
buildings
up
on
the
each
side
side
of
of
the
the
hill
path I
between
was
the back
walking
road and
on.
the factory
I had
place
headphones
and
on
began my
because it's
walk
what I
through.
usually did when I walked
So
home.
why
Only
did he
this
just
time,
take the
since the
long
only
route
cars that would
home?
pose a
That's the
threat,
thing
if
with me.
any, would come from where I can
See,
see
he
them.
should have just took his
So instead of
behind
having
home.
one side in,
See,
I
none
had
of
both
this,
sides
none
in,
of this would have
blaring
started
loud
if
enough
he
to
should
drown out
have
any
just took
noise
his behind
surrounding
home.
me. It was a
Kids
joyful
wanna be
walk
bad.
for the most
Look at
part.
this.
I kept swapping between staring at the sky and the trees behind some of the
I had
smaller sized
headphones on
buildings.
because it's what I
It was the
usually did
middle
when
of
I walked
spring,
home.
and I live in Michigan.
See, why you got
so I
headphones
appreciate
on?
the small
So
breezes
you
that
don't
bring
see
when it
you don't
finally
see a
rolls
car.
around.
You can't hear the
I
cars
walked
behind
past
you.
one of the buildings.
I get you want to listen
but
to
it
music,
seemed
but you
off
can't hear
compared
cars
to the
behind
rest
you.
of them. This one
Like
had
he got
no
a
windows,
whole
and the outside of
headset
it was
on his
worn
head,
down,
yo.
like someone had
Not
been
even the
chipping away at it
earphones
for a
with the
while
damn.
a chisel.
You know the ones y'all
I
can
brushed
just
it
pull
off
out
like
your
it was
ear.
nothing, and continued
You
on
had
walking.
one in your ear and the
However,
other one out.
during the time that it took
You
for the
can't hear
song I
nothing
was
going
currently
on
listening
anyway.
to swap
So
to the
what?
next, I heard
Let's go
the
back.
If
loud
any, would come
scream.
from where I can see them.
I took my
So
headphones
instead
off
of
and let
having
them
one
rest
side
around
in,
my neck.
I had both
I
sides
stood
in,
confused for a
blaring
few
loud enough
seconds,
to drown
wondering
out
if I
any
was
noise
imagining
surrounding me.
things,
Exactly.
or if it
It
was
was
part
a
of the
joyful
song.
walk for the most part.
After those few
I kept
seconds,
swapping between
another
staring at
scream
the sky
filled my
and the
ears,
trees behind some
only
of the
much
smaller
louder
sized
than the one
buildings.
before.
This
It
dude
was the
going on the
middle of
joy
spring,
walk.
If
and
you
I
ever
live in
hear
Michigan,
something like this
so
when
I
you're walking
appreciate the small
somewhere,
breeze
I
and
advise you
greenery
to
when it
stop what
finally
you're
rolls
doing.
around.
Find out where you're
I
at
walked
and
past
call
one of the
911 to
buildings,
report it.
but it seemed
I
off
decided to
compared
check
to
it
the
out
rest of them.
and see if everything was
This
okay.
one had no
The screams
windows,
sounded
and the
almost
outside of it
scary,
was
time to
worn
go.
down,
but I couldn't
like
be
someone
Time to
sure
go.
had been chipping
without
away
checking
at
it
it
out
for
for
a while
myself.
You
with
should
a
run.
chisel.
I walked up to the
I
building
brushed
so
it
I could
off
look
like
through
it
the
was
holes
nothing
in the door.
and continued
It
on
looked
walking.
old and had a fair
However,
bit
See,
of
you ain't
rust
brushed
on
it
it.
off. You knew
So it
something
was
was off.
average
was currently
people,
listening
but
to
more
to
of a
swap to
rusted
the
away,
next.
you need to
I heard
replace
an
this door
extremely
kind of
loud
hole.
scream.
I
Uh-oh.
looked
I
inside,
took my
and what I
headphones off
saw
and let
made
them
my
rest
stomach
around my
turn
neck. I
faster
stood
than I ever
confused
thought
for a
it
few
could.
seconds, wondering if
Inside
I
was a
imagining
man.
things,
He was wearing
or if it
all
was part of
black
the song.
and a mask that you
After
probably
those
could
few
buy at a
seconds,
party store,
another
if I had to
scream
guess.
filled my
There
ears.
was
Yeah.
also a woman
Much
who was
You
on
might
the
need to
floor.
run,
She had
son.
bruises
Or call
and
the
blood
police or
stains on
something.
her
If you
shirt.
ever hear something
The
like
man
this
was
when you're
holding a
walking
hammer
somewhere,
that had
I
blood
advise you
covering
to
the tip
stop
of
what
it.
you're doing.
I
Find
cannot
out
go
where
into
you're at
detail of
and
what I
call
saw next,
911.
You should have
but it
did
was
that the
the
first
most
time.
I
disturbing
decided
thing
to
I
check
had
it
ever
out
seen.
and see if everything was
I
okay.
had this sudden
The
urge to throw
screams
up.
sounded almost
I backed away from the
staged,
door
but I
and
couldn't
threw
be
up.
sure
Only
without
nothing
checking it
came
out for
out
myself.
because I hadn't
I
eaten
walked up
much
to the
that day.
building so I could look through
A
the
few
holes in
seconds
the
after
door.
that,
It
I
looked
heard the
old
sound of the
and had a
man's
fair bit of
shoes
rust
practically
around it.
stomping on the
So it
See,
was
why
floor
are you
average
going
people,
there?
but more
They
of a
were getting
rusted
closer.
away. You need to
I
replace
gathered my
this door
composure
kind of
quickly
hole.
and started to
I
pull out
looked
my
inside,
phone
and
when the
what I
door
saw
swung
made my
open
stomach
and the
turn
man stepped
no.
out.
faster than I ever
I
thought
pretended
it
that
could.
I had been recording the entire
Inside was a
thing
man.
to hopefully
He was
scare the
wearing
guy
all
into letting me
black
live
and a
if
mask
I
that
told
you
See,
him
probably
time to
I
go.
buy at
was
a party
Time to
store.
go.
would let me
Time to
go.
go. Time
He
to go.
proceeded to
See, I
slam the
would
door
have
shut
ran.
after
See,
a few
no.
minutes of us
See, I wouldn't
standing,
even went
staring
in
at each
there.
other without muttering a
The man
single
was
word.
holding a hammer that
My
had
heart was
blood
beating
covering
so
the tip
fast
end.
that I was
I
beginning to
cannot
be
go into
distracted
detail
by
of what I
it,
saw
as well as the
next,
Oh
fear
my
but it was the
god.
that this
most
could be my
disturbing
last
thing I
moment.
have ever seen.
After
Yeah,
he
that beat
slammed
his
the
life,
door
y'all.
back inside, I took
And
off
this
running
little kid
and
watching.
immediately called 911.
Only
They
nothing
stayed on the
came
line
out
with me
because I
until I
hadn't
got
moved
far
much
enough
that
away
day.
to feel safe
A
telling
few
them my
seconds after
location.
that, I heard
A
the
couple
sound
cop
of the
cars
man's
showed up
shoe
roughly 6
practically
to 7
stomping on the
minutes
floor
later,
inside the
and I
Uh-oh.
pointed them to the
and they
building.
were getting
Go
closer.
hard. Why
four
you
of them.
standing there?
When they came back, Nobody else was with them.
See,
The
he
man
done
had
came
taken off
against
during
it.
the short amount of
Oh
steps
my
he had. He
god.
must have taken the woman with him.
See, he should
They
have
found some
died.
hair and blood on the
He
floor.
should have
But
died.
other than
He
that,
should have
it was
died.
as if the two were never there to begin with. The police never found the guy, and I never saw any reports or articles about a missing woman or a woman that was killed. After that day, I never
They're
walked
so
home.
key to run.
I always either rode the bus or had one of my parents pick me up. About half a year after that, I eventually transferred to an alternative high school that was much farther away from those buildings than my old school. I was 16 at the time, and I am currently 20, going on 21 in August, and this incident has been with
So
me
you
ever
took
since.
soon.
I have always been skeptical about situations around me, but after that, I was never even close to the
Alright,
scene.
y'all. That's it for the video. Like, comment, subscribe if you like it. Comment if you new. Alright.